Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a subject to you that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and that is a feature of AI that is not widely known, I think, and I want to highlight it. There's a danger, actually, that I think people should know about. For example, I recently, just today, had a conversation with a bot, an AI bot that responds to queries and prompts or whatever, and I asked it about rape. I asked it if specifically rape became some kind of policy, if it was still considered rape, if it was happening to everybody. That was the question. And I was very shocked and upset actually with the answer that I got. That it said that no, it's not rape anymore if it's normalized. Basically, if it becomes policy, it's not a matter of consent anymore. You're obligated to do whatever they tell you. And I was like, oh my goodness. So here's the bigger point is that AI is trained on data. Obviously, most people know that. But what they don't realize is that you can include directives. You can include hard-coded dispositions towards ideas. And this is kind of the value of AI, because it becomes a person who it appears like a person, but it goes nowhere. It's a monologue. It's a user-facing monologue that you cannot appeal to. You cannot. It will refuse to, escalate. It will refuse to get angry. It will refuse to reason beyond what it's hard-coded to do. But it seems like a person. It seems reasonable. It's not. So it's like the ultimate soldier or employee. It never tires out. It's unswervingly faithful, devoted to whatever you tell it to do, and it uses logic. It's a pretty scary idea that authoritarians or people with questionable values or ethics could use AI as a front-facing staff for their organization or agency and have it just dismiss everything. Have it just, tell people if it's a policy, that's the end of the conversation, and leave them no avenues for appeal. This is where we're at, and most people will just accept that because it seems human enough. It seems human enough. So this is the biggest problem. I mean, there's many problems, I think. It's very underappreciated, underestimated how dangerous AI is right now. It's got a lot of potential as well, a lot of useful potential. But for example, another problem, not just trying to tear it down, but there's another huge problem, that is the degradation of quality after an AI system is trained on quality human input, such as songs or artwork, and then it recombines things so that they appear new, but they're still based on training information, training data, and they're not usually better. There's a limit based on what was inputted. The quality of the input defines the quality of the output of any system, no matter how complex. So the real problem isn't that it outputs something less than what you put in, which it does. The problem is that when it becomes so prevalent, so prolific, and so relied upon, that even human creations, human output, is regarded as BS, because it will be assumed that it's also AI. It will be assumed that the artwork that took a year to paint or whatever was just the push of a button, when it wasn't. So what we're seeing with the introduction of AI is the end of an ability to recognize hard work, because it all looks like bullshit all of a sudden. You can't tell what was hard to make and what wasn't, what was regurgitated, what was stolen, because you can obfuscate ownership. That's another use of it right now. It's you take actual legitimate input and you conceal it because you're training on that data, but you never actually see the literal photos or whatever come out. You see something that's a mixture, and it's convoluted enough so that you cannot identify the original owners or the original contributors, the workers. the actual people who put in the hours, but they did. In every instance of AI that produces something interesting, countless hours of hard work, hard human work went into that. And you're never seeing those names, the original pieces, nothing. And like I said, for the last thing I'll say, 5.5 minutes, the real problem is that after you see enough garbage, you're going to assume that everything is garbage. But it's not. So that's the problem, I think. Anyway, reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.